Hey everybody, it's me, John Ward, and welcome to a rant review. My reason for doing this video is because I just watched Cobra Kai Season 6, Part 2. And I don't know, I'm maybe I've just grown out of the show, but I was a huge fan of Cobra Kai Seasons 1 and 2 when it was on YouTube Red. And then it went over the Netflix, and I enjoyed seasons 3 and 4, and then season 5 came out, which I really disliked. I thought that they gave, Mike Barnes just a shitty role. I just thought that somebody who I was really looking forward to coming back, I think they just gave just the shaft to. And then I guess he is coming back at some point. I guess maybe sometime in the last 5 episodes for season 2, part 3. And I I enjoyed season 6, part 1. I don't know, maybe I should go back and rewatch it. Maybe my opinion would be different. Like maybe I might dislike it. But I don't know. I think I'm just tired of it. I think I'm just past it. It's really unfortunate because I'm a huge Karate Kid fan. And I thought I would share with you my collection and talk a little bit about my history with the Karate Kid, and then get into Cobra Kai season 6, part 2. And I got to tell you, before we get into these films, that I am so tired of these shows being divided. Um, we already had to wait something like 2 years for, I believe it was season 5, because of COVID. And then, which to me, like I said, was a huge disappointment. And then we finally get season 6, which is going to be the last season. And then they're going to start doing movies and spin-offs. And then they're like, oh, yeah, we're going to divide it up into 3 parts. You're going to get 5 episodes per part, which isn't bad per se, because we're getting 5 extra episodes. And so normally each season is 10 episodes. Season 6 will have a total of 15. So I guess for the wait, we're going to be getting 5 extra episodes. And then at some point we're going to be getting like the Karate Kid Legends, which is with Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan. That really annoys me because according to the creators of Cobra Kai, um, the Karate Kid with, is it the Karate Kid? Yeah, it's still the Karate Kid with Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan does not exist within this universe. Even though the Smith family does own the rights to Cobra Kai, or I guess the Karate Kid, because you can see their names in the producer credits. Uh, they the creators said that they weren't going to bring those characters into the like Mr. Miyagi universe. That if but I don't know. I guess because Jackie Chan's character has a different name, and Jaden Smith's character has a different name, and it's actually not karate that they do, it's kung fu. And it's so the Karate Kid with Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan is only the Karate Kid in name. It's more the Kung Fu Kid. So I don't know if I like them merging these things together. Because then that means that Jaden Smith might be in it and they're just not saying anything. And I really dislike the Smith family, kind of all of them. I like Will Smith as an actor, So I do own, you know, probably like a handful of his movies. I don't like anything else that anyone has done. Jada Pinkett Smith, I only own her stuff because she's part of a larger cast. And so I own movies with her in it, uh Matrix films or Scream 2, things like that, because she just happens to be in them. But I don't want the Smith family to be beyond the producer side being part of the Karate Kid or Cobra Kai, you know, franchise. Um, to give you some history, when I was in my early 20s, I worked at a movie theater called the Tamalpais with my buddy Cliff Macmillan, who you know, worked over at Scream Factory, and now he's over at Arrow. And he was the theater manager, and I was an usher. And we opened up this little movie uh, called The Karate Kid. And first, nobody showed up. There were a few people in the theater, but then come a few days later, there were more people, and a week later, there was even more people, and a couple of weeks later, we were selling out. So this little movie became this big ass film, which means that when they did the Karate Kid Part 2, it went to the biggest, most expensive theater. That this is up in Northern California, Marin County, the Bay Area, that you could put a movie at, and that was the Cinema, which was owned at the time by George Lucas and Francis Ford Coppola. It's like a big square red brick box, and it basically had like the best projectors and the best sound and everything. And so that's where part 2 went. Where part 3 went, I don't remember at all. I think it probably went to one of the theaters that had multiple, you know, like auditoriums in it, but I don't remember, and I have no idea where the next Karate Kid went. But I became a huge fan of the Karate Kid and all of the films. I even got to see Ralph Macchio live on stage. He sang in had to succeed, how to succeed in business without really trying. Um, I was also a, you know, a big fan of William Zabka, and you know, with things that he did, like in the 80s, they had a show called The Equalizer, and which I loved. And he played the son of the Equalizer. And I didn't really know his name at the time. I just said, oh my God, that's the guy, that's Johnny from you know, the Karate Kid. So I have been a fan of these guys for a long time, including going to see stuff. And this is falls into, I didn't necessarily see these movies because Ralph Macchio was in them, because it was before Karate Kid, but things like The Outsiders, where he was part of an ensemble cast that then became really big. But I did go see him for stuff like Crossroads, which is basically, you know, the Karate Kid with guitars. Um, and so this is what I own. So I am a big fan. I also own all the soundtracks. I own all the soundtracks to The Karate Kid. I own all the soundtracks to Cobra Kai. I own multiple versions of the soundtracks. And up until, well, no, including this season, uh, um, I would always watch them the first day they came out. And so yeah, so it's just this video is a little tough for me to make because I am such a huge fan of this entire franchise and these actors that and I guess and the creators too, that it just, I don't know, I guess I'm just tired of it. I think it just took too long for me, and now we still have to wait till next year, and I think it's February for part 3. But these are the things that I own. And so this is the Karate Kid collection. And it has parts, you know, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I am a fan of all of these. If I had to rank them, I would say Karate Kid, then Karate Kid 2, honestly, the next Karate Kid and then Karate Kid Part 3. Even though this has some great villains in it that, of course, returned to, Cobra Kai, I felt that this was one of the weaker ones because they made Daniel more of a dummy. I think that they were trying to make him more like Rocky, and he just came off dumb. They even gave him this weird kind of Rocky accent, and he just came off as dumb in this. But I do love the villains in this. I like the monks in the next Karate Kid. I like Hilary Swank, and my fingers are really crossed that she shows up in season 6 part 3 in one of those 5 remaining episodes, where she only needs to come back for one episode, and that's it. And I would be on cloud 9. I'd be the happiest guy ever. But even though my fingers are crossed, I shouldn't be holding my breath. And of course we got the great villains of part 2, and then like Chosen, and and then of course with Karate Kid with Johnny and Reese, and then in this we get Silver and Barnes. So all of these are, I think, are solid movies, and it's a solid collection and franchise. They all come on these very thin cases, and so this is the first one. And it's funny, is each film has less special features on it. So this is the special edition, and it says all new special features. So you get audio commentary, you get a making of, you get a featurette, and you get another featurette. You also get like a composer's notebook. So Karate Kid 1, Karate Kid 2 and 3 are from the director of Rocky. He also did Rocky 5. And a lot of these people chose not to come back for the next Karate Kid. They were just kind of done. And then and even the writer for part 3, I don't think wanted to come back. I don't even think Ralph Macchio wanted to come back. He was under contract, I believe. So, and then this is part 2, which I just think is a great sequel. And this one only has 2 special features: interactive DVD ROM game and the sequel featurette. You would think with how big it was, because I believe it made more money than the first film, that they'd put on more special features. And then the third disc has 3 and 4 together, which I don't really like. And there's no special features on this at all. I think it's one per side. So like side A would be, part 3, and then side A is part 3, and then side B is the next Karate Kid. So I never really watched the animated show. I know that there's a few episodes on YouTube, but I never watched the cartoon. I didn't really care about the cartoon that much. But so this is, and I was really happy when YouTube did this, because I didn't think that they would. So this is seasons 1 and 2 of Cobra Kai. It's a collector's edition, and it's the Karate Kid saga continues. Includes a 2-sided headband plus exclusive uncensored bonus features. And the special features on this, there's like a fight choreography, the characters. You get also Easter eggs, bonus scenes, gag reels. Let's see, cast reads, exploring the musical identities. So basically, with the composers, musical performances at the Whiskey A Go Go, Making Faces, and Stingray Reel. So when they brought this out, I was so incredibly happy. And here's the headband. I've never taken it out of the plastic bag. I don't plan to. I'm just going to keep it in there. I don't like that they stacked the disc, but I'm just happy it's a physical copy. but okay. And then it went over to Netflix, and Netflix is notorious for not releasing physical media. But if you want it bad enough, you're going to get it. So luckily, they did. So the first one that they brought out was season 3. It doesn't have a slip cover, which kind of bums me out. But and the special features on this are deleted scenes and blooper reel. I don't remember if there's anything more. But this brings back Allie from The Karate Kid. So she's in a couple episodes, which is pretty awesome. And this, they did it right. Each disc is on its separate, or all the episodes are on separate discs. So if it's 10 episodes, there's 5 episodes, and then 5 episodes are on the second disc here. And then you got... So still happy. Every season that came out, put up on Facebook for my like little like banner up there. Always put something for Cobra Kai for the new season coming out, trailers and all that stuff. Totally still on board. Okay, so then they bring out season 4. Still really happy. I mean, we got, you know, now we got, you know, of course, we got Daniel, we got Johnny, we got, you know, John Kreese is back, you know, or has been back really since, I want to say, season 3. We get Terry Silver. Now he's back. I mean, I'm loving it because we also got all of these, the original actors coming back in, and not played by like a new actor. So it's, which I think is really great. Even these small roles are played by the original actors. Like if you remember in The Karate Kid Part 2, Daniel saves the young Asian girl who's trapped during a storm. They got back the original actress who's now all grown up, and she came back for one scene. So I thought that, God, that is great. I mean, these guys are really, really dedicated. And so special features on season 4, deleted scenes, blooper reel, and Karate Dad featurette. Once again, done right. The episodes are, you know, like 5 and 5. I haven't played the video game. I'm not really into video games. So I'm all, you know, we're all psyched. Season 4 ends. Frigging COVID hits. That stops everything. From what we understood, they only shot, I guess it was something like 75% of the season for season 5. So we have to wait. So now it's like we had to wait something like 2 years. And then, you know, I finally watched it, and I was let down. I didn't believe certain things in this. I didn't believe, you know, I hated with what they did with Mike Barnes. I like the introduction between like Mike Barnes and Chosen. I love that they brought Chosen back. My favorite thing is, and they do this in season 6. They just did it in part 2, as I'm sure they did it in part 1 also. But I love when characters from the different movies are together. So when you have Johnny, Chosen, Daniel all in one scene, I love that. Or you have like Daniel, Johnny, Chosen, and then standing, you know, in front of them is, you know, Kreese and Silver. I love that. You know, the in season 5, I do like that Chosen and Mike Barnes get into a fight in a furniture store, which I thought was awesome. And then once, you know, Silver finds out what's going on with Mike Barnes, he burns down the furniture store. And then I thought that was it. I thought Mike Barnes was not coming back. And And then he does, but he comes back in a forced, weak, stupid way, and he doesn't get the ending fight. He's like in like drunk or something in like a limousine, and it's just they did him dirty. They did him wrong. Like they wanted to force him in. Like the stuff at the furniture store and then it burning down, that was almost like that was it. That was going to be the whole Mike Barnes thing. And then they're like, well, crap, we got to bring him back. And they brought him back, and it was poorly done. Um, he does, if I remember correctly, he is in season 6, part 1. So he comes in when Daniel and Johnny are fighting about the dojos. And so he's the one that comes in uh, uh, to kind of decide on stuff, and he's a little rough on stuff. I'm kind of remembering that. It's been a while since I watched, part 1. For some reason, they just cannot do them all together. But so I like that with him. But season 5 to me was just a disappointment. I just did not like season 5, and that kind of soured the whole thing for me. On this one, you get, and it doesn't have, it doesn't have a slipcover. It's like they're going no slipcover, slipcover, no slipcover. So probably season 6 will have a slipcover. The special features on this are deleted and extended scenes and blooper reel. But I still love the show. It just, I don't know, it just pisses me off in some ways. And it really started with this season. But I do remember seeing the season 6, part 1, and loving it, really enjoying it. So something happened between the months in between part 1 and part 2 that made me not like this show as much. Maybe it's taking too long. Maybe we're seeing the same thing over and over again. I like that in part 2, season 6, part 2, that they brought back one of the guys from the Karate Kid part 3, that he's a baddie. I like that. And they even got the same actor. But the stuff that is, I don't know, the bickering between Johnny and Daniel is getting really old. I mean, we're in we're at the halfway point of season 6, and they're still bickering. And granted, for us as fans, it's been years that all of this has taken place, but maybe within the world of Cobra Kai, it's only been a couple years. So maybe they wouldn't get along. I'm not entirely sure of the exact timeline of how this takes place. It's kind of like The Walking Dead, even though they had, what was it, like 10 episodes or 10 seasons or 12 seasons, whatever it was. It really only took place within like 3 years. Something weird like that. And so maybe they wouldn't get along, but as far as a viewer, as far as me, my opinion, I'm tired of seeing them bicker. It's not the Odd Couple anymore. It just annoys me. And then all the stuff with Tori, I just don't care anymore. Her mom dies, and that's like the main focal point of all these teenagers, or how the two guys have the fight with the whole MIT thing. I just don't care. I just don't. It's not interesting anymore to me. It's just it's become boring and kind of tedious. And in season 6, part 2, there are these scenes that take place in some sort of aquarium, and it and it's in Barcelona. And okay, so they had a time where they could shoot in this aquarium. It looks great. It's nice seeing the whales and all that stuff. But who cares? I just did not care at all, and um, I just got bored. I got bored with the fighting. I got, with the adults and the teenagers. I got tired of all the just I don't know. It's like we're just rehashing everything over again. There's a big fight, and it's episode, I guess now this would be episode 10, but it's the 5th episode in part 2, the last one, where there's a huge fight. And almost every season, if not every season, there's a huge fight. And I was not impressed. And maybe because it's Netflix and they have to, I don't know, kind of tone it down. Um, Instead of something like YouTube Red, which was made for adults, the violence could be a little more. In this, one character does die. But that's it. You're not really seeing any injuries. You're not seeing legs being broken or arms being broken or kneecaps being broken or ankles being broken or anything like that. It's very tame. Like they're just fighting and fighting and fighting. And I remember there was one shot, and I even went back to look at it, where a foot goes to hit against somebody's face, and when it gets to about right here, it cuts. Like they didn't want to show the foot actually hitting the person's head because that'd be too violent or something. I just felt that if you're going to do season 6, this is your last season, go all out and show. I mean, I know it's Karate Kid and all that, but some of these people have got to get injured. They got to have some broken bones, and they don't seem to have any broken bones. They fight, they get kicked, they get punched, they fall on the floor, they go through a window, and they get right up and start fighting again. And that annoyed me because it's, and plus with all the drama and everything, I don't want 90210. I don't want Melrose Place. I don't want the OC. I just don't care about all that drama anymore. I want No Retreat, No Surrender. I want Bloodsport. I want these movies where when they're, you know, pitted against each other, there's blood. And you don't really get any of that. I mean, people, it's, I don't know. I don't know. I just want more. I don't know. I just wanted that fight to be more brutal. I just wanted it to, but I don't know. I don't really care when part 3 comes out of this. I mean, I'll watch it and I'll probably watch it like, the day after or whatever it is when it comes out, but I just don't really care. Speaking of not really caring, this is the only movie that I haven't shown yet, and I do own it. And Jonathan Moody and I reviewed it, and I think it's just not good. Oh, excuse me. Might be a second one coming. Um, it's you know they just took the producer even said that that the title is the only thing that's really Karate Kid ish, because it really should be kung fu. And it's Jackie Chan is Chinese, he's not Japanese. And it so that's why I'm thinking it's so if Daniel is karate, and I don't know what's Jackie Chan's name in this, Mr. Han. So so that he knows kung fu. So I don't know how that's going to work out in this movie. But I can't stand Jaden Smith. I really can't. And there's a making of this, and of course his entire family is there on set. And they talk about how he had to audition. No, he didn't. He did not have to audition for this. His parents bought him the rights to the movie, from what I understand, for his birthday, and because he wanted to make a Karate Kid movie, and that's how we got it. He didn't have to audition, and it's just not a good film. It really isn't. I only own it because I'm a completionist, and now that Mr. Han, Jackie Chan, is now part of the Mr. Miyagi verse. Um, I decided to buy it, but I wasn't going to buy the Blu-ray, and I think I found this at Goodwill for like $2.99. That might have even been too much. It might have only been $1.99, which is still too much. So now I own it, thanks to the creators of Cobra Kai making this now part of the universe. Um, on this, there's the special features on this are Chinese lessons, a Justin Bieber music video featuring Jaden Smith. Because of course, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith had to force their kids either into acting or music, like Willow and stuff. So now Jaden is doing both acting and music. And then there's the making of the Karate Kid. Uh, One, I will give them, yeah, Jerry Weintraub is the guy who decided to keep this as the Karate Kid, even though it's not karate. I do give them credit. I watched the making of, and they did put 100% into this. I don't think that the movie slacks. The film's over yeah, it's 140 minutes. So, I mean, I don't know. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess if you're a fan of Cobra Kai and you liked, Cobra Kai season 6 part 1, you would probably like part 2. I know my buddy Jonathan Moody, he says that this season is his favorite. I will wait and until the entire 15 episodes have shown and I've watched them, to kind of rank where I put it. Before, you could just watch them all in one sitting. You could just binge and then kind of figure out where they fit. And I still think seasons 1 and 2 would be the best. I would then, and part 3. It kind of goes in order. 1 and 2 are the best, then 3, then 4. 5 would be the worst, and then I'll have to see where 6 is. And then you know the Jaden Smith Karate Kid, I can't even place that in anywhere in this. So I don't even. I hate that I hate that I even own some movies with him in it. So I own the remake of The Day the Earth Stood Still because I like Keanu Reeves, and it came with the original The Day the Earth Stood Still, and Jaden is in that, and he's the worst thing in it. So yeah, I don't, and I love Jackie Chan. I've been a huge Jackie Chan fan for decades. My friends and I, when we lived in Pasadena, would go into Chinatown, to the theater there, and see uncut versions of his movies, including like John Woo films, Chow Yun Fat films, Jet Li films. So we were and still are huge Jackie Chan fans, and I don't, yeah, I don't like that he did this, but money talks. So I don't know. I'm glad this is the final season because I like beginning, middle, and end. So if it goes episodes 1, 2, and 3, that's the beginning, and then no, so it'd be episodes 1 and 2 would be the beginning, 3 and 4 would be the middle, and then 5 and 6 would be the end. So I like that. I like when things kind of have like a beginning, middle, and end. So 6 seasons is good, and I'm glad that they're ending it. We'll see what the movie does, and if they continue it after that, which I've heard that they're going to do spin-offs and stuff. So I mean, we'll just see. So I mean, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down below. I don't know. I'm just disappointed in part 2. I don't know. I just really wasn't. interested. I think there's maybe too many characters and too much stuff going on, maybe. I don't know. I keep saying maybe, and I don't know. It's because the show is so confusing to me because I'm such a huge fan, and now I'm being, maybe the show is just as good as it always is, and it's just me. You know, my opinions on things are changing, my taste is changing, and I just, you know, I love the Penguin. I thought the Penguin was awesome, and what they're going to be doing with the Penguin and the Batman movies in the future, with like a Joker series, and how Matt Reeves wants to make the Batman a trilogy. Um, you know, I was very, you know, I'm very excited about these type of things. You know, there might be a Penguin season 2. He's already talked about that there will be you know, a Joker series. So, you know, it's supposed to go the Batman and then the Penguin and then the Batman part 2 and then Joker or the Joker series. And then that goes into Batman part 3, but I guess maybe somewhere in there is the Penguin season 2. And then I've also heard stuff about the Scarecrow being somewhere in there too. There's so much that they could do with that series. So I highly recommend, if you haven't seen it, The Penguin. There's reasons for why the Batman hasn't been in the series, which is fine. Catwoman hasn't been in it. It is teased at the end. And there's a deleted scene of the Joker with Batman. Batman's talking to the Joker in Arkham. It's a deleted scene from the Batman. And then, of course, the Riddler is still in Arkham. So there's a lot of stuff that Matt Reeves could do. I'm really looking forward to that. Maybe, like I said, maybe just my opinions have changed. Maybe I'm maturing a little, you know, I don't know. But I'll still watch Cobra Kai season part 3 or season 6 part 3. I'll watch Legends and whatever else they do until I'm just absolutely sick of it. So, all right, everybody, thanks a lot. I really appreciate you guys watching this. Let me know what you think of, you know, the Karate Kid or Cobra Kai or the Jaden Smith Karate Kid. And you know, down below, if you know what your thoughts are. I mean, some people are saying it's great, and I almost tend to think that people say these things because it's new. You know, it's brand new, so you have to like it. And I just don't work that way. But yeah, we'll have to wait till maybe February to find out what's going on. So, all right, everybody, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Okay.